Have you ever wondered who was Toyotomi Hideyoshi and how he unified Japan? A name that reverberates through the annals of history, Toyotomi Hideyoshi was a Sengoku warlord during the Azuchi-Momoyama period. From humble beginnings, he rose to become a key figure in the unification of Japan. His journey was no easy feat, filled with strategic maneuvering, political acuity, and a vision to create a unified nation. His reign, though short-lived, was marked by significant policies that reshaped the socio-political landscape of Japan. From implementing the one country, one castle order to establishing his own centralized government, Hideyoshi's policies were innovative and far-reaching. His influence extended beyond the shores of Japan, with a controversial deployment to Korea. No stone was left unturned in his quest to build a unified Japan, from commerce to agriculture, and even the establishment of castle towns. Let's delve deeper into the policies he implemented to achieve such a monumental task. Imagine a country where each feudal lord could only own one castle per region. That's the ingenious idea that Toyotomi Hideyoshi, a prominent warlord of the Sengoku period, had in mind when he issued the one country, one castle order. This policy was a masterstroke in medieval Japanese politics. It was a time when the country was fragmented, with power divided among numerous daimyo, each ruling their own territories from their castles. These castles were not just residences, but also military fortresses, symbols of power, and the nucleus of economic activity. By restricting each daimyo to owning a single castle, Hideyoshi effectively limited their military power. It's as if he took a giant chessboard, with multiple players moving their pieces all over, and simplified it into a one-on-one game. This created an equilibrium among the daimyo, reducing the chances of one becoming too powerful and destabilizing the fragile peace. But the one country, one castle policy was not just about maintaining peace. It was a reflection of Hideyoshi's vision of a unified Japan. It was a stepping stone towards a centralized government, a concept quite revolutionary for its time. By controlling the number of castles, Hideyoshi was able to exert greater influence over the daimyo, bringing them under his rule and creating a more cohesive nation. This was a crucial step in establishing control over the once chaotic feudal landscape. The one country, one castle policy was a testament to Hideyoshi's political acumen and his commitment to unifying Japan under a single banner. What if a ruler taxed the rich and gave to the poor, promoting land balance and social stability? Perhaps it sounds like a modern political slogan, but this was exactly the policy implemented by Toyotomi Hideyoshi in the late 16th century. Hideyoshi, having unified Japan, was acutely aware of the social imbalances caused by the Sengoku period's incessant warfare. Many feudal lords or daimyo held vast swathes of land, while the farmers who worked the soil often lived in poverty. Hideyoshi aimed to rectify this imbalance. He introduced a policy of taxing these wealthy daimyo and then redistributing the revenue among the poorer farmers. This not only promoted land balance, but also fostered social stability. But how did Hideyoshi know who to tax and by how much? This is where the Taiko Kenchi comes into play. The Taiko Kenchi was a comprehensive land survey conducted under Hideyoshi's rule. The purpose of this survey was to assess the productivity of the land. It evaluated how much rice each plot of land could produce. Based on this assessment, taxes were imposed. The more productive the land, the higher the tax. This system was not designed to punish the wealthy, but rather to ensure that everyone contributed their fair share. It was a practical solution that acknowledged the reality of the times. The wealthy daimyo, with their large, fertile lands, could afford to pay more, and the revenue generated was then used to support the less fortunate, thereby promoting a more balanced society. But the benefits of the Taiko Kenchi extended beyond social stability. By accurately assessing the land's productivity, it also helped to optimize agricultural output. Farmers were incentivized to make their land as productive as possible to maximize their share of the redistributed wealth. With these measures, Hideyoshi not only stabilized national finances, but also improved overall productivity. His policies, though born of a bygone era, still resonate today, reminding us of the power of thoughtful, equitable governance. What happens when a unified government spreads throughout a country? Picture this. Japan in the late 16th century, a land scarred by years of internal conflict. Emerging from this chaos is Toyotomi Hideyoshi, a man of humble origins who had risen to the apex of power. Hideyoshi's first order of business was to establish his own centralized system of governance. He didn't merely want to rule, he sought to transform the very fabric of Japanese society. To achieve this, he tightened his grip over local lords, known as daimyo. No longer were these feudal lords free to do as they pleased. Under Hideyoshi's watchful eye, they found their power curtailed, their actions scrutinized. The brilliance of Hideyoshi's system lay in its simplicity. By centralizing authority, he ensured a consistent application of law and policy across the land. He created a political structure that was less prone to the factional infighting that had defined the Sengoku period. His system was not without its critics, yet even they had to admit the efficacy of Hideyoshi's approach. But this centralized system was not just about power. It was about creating a sense of unity, a shared identity that transcended regional loyalties. It was about bringing together a nation that had been divided for too long. It was about building a Japan that could withstand the pressures of the outside world. A unified government was key in maintaining order and solidifying Hideyoshi's power. And in doing so, Hideyoshi laid the foundation for a Japan that would endure for centuries to come. How does a ruler extend his authority at home and abroad? Toyotomi Hideyoshi, a Sengoku period warlord, found his answer in two significant actions: the deployment to Korea and the enactment of his law. Let's first consider Hideyoshi's decision to dispatch troops to Korea. This move was not just a military expedition, it was a strategic play to consolidate his power over the military commanders in Japan. By leading the commanders into a foreign war, Hideyoshi was able to assert his authority, ensuring they recognized his leadership and command. However, this decision was not without its criticism. Some quarters questioned the wisdom of this move, citing the potential risks and costs. Yet Hideyoshi, in his unwavering determination, pushed forward, seeing the larger picture of solidifying his rule. Now, let's move on to Toyotomi Hideyoshi's law enactment. Hideyoshi was not content with just military dominance. He understood that for a unified government to thrive, it needed laws and order. Among his notable laws was the one that separated soldiers from farmers. This law was a stroke of genius. It served to prevent farmers from being dragged into war, enabling them to focus on agriculture, which in turn bolstered the economy. Furthermore, it ensured a clear distinction between military and civilian roles, promoting societal stability. Another one of Hideyoshi's laws was the promotion of commerce. He understood that a prosperous economy was crucial for maintaining his rule. He encouraged trade, fostering a vibrant market culture that brought wealth to the nation and its people. These two significant actions, the deployment to Korea and Hideyoshi's law enactment, were not without their controversy. Yet they played a vital role in extending Hideyoshi's authority both at home and abroad. They demonstrated his strategic acumen, his understanding of societal needs, and his ability to make tough decisions for the greater good of the nation. Despite some controversy, these actions further bolstered Hideyoshi's authority. What role do castle towns play in the development of commerce and culture? Let's delve into the fascinating world of Toyotomi Hideyoshi's castle towns. In his quest to build a unified nation, Hideyoshi understood the importance of castle towns. These were not merely military fortifications, but hubs of economic and cultural activity. Castle towns were symbols of authority and power, and under Hideyoshi's rule, they became the heart of Japan's social life. Hideyoshi established numerous castle towns across the country, each one meticulously planned. They were designed to be self-sufficient, with their own markets, artisans and merchants. These towns were more than just residences for the daimyo and their samurai. They were bustling centers of commerce, attracting traders, craftsmen and farmers from far and wide. Now, let's take a moment to talk about Osaka Castle, a shining example of Hideyoshi's castle towns. Osaka Castle wasn't just a castle, it was a town in its own right, a microcosm of Hideyoshi's Japan. It was a place where commerce thrived, where the arts flourished, and where people from all walks of life could find a place. It was a testament to Hideyoshi's vision of a prosperous, unified Japan. But Hideyoshi's castle towns were more than just economic powerhouses. They were also cultural hubs. Theatres, tea houses and schools sprung up within their walls, and they became the birthplace of many aspects of traditional Japanese culture that we cherish today. They were places where ideas were exchanged, where the arts were cultivated, and where the seeds of Japan's cultural identity were sown. In the end, Hideyoshi's castle towns were not just physical entities. They were a vision of a unified, prosperous Japan. They were the blueprint for the nation that Hideyoshi sought to build, a testament to his strategic genius and his understanding of the intricate interplay between politics, economics, and culture. Through these policies, Hideyoshi's approach to nation-building became clear. His castle towns were not just symbols of power, but catalysts for the development of a vibrant, prosperous, and culturally rich Japan. So how did Toyotomi Hideyoshi unify Japan, you may ask? It was a combination of strategic policies and well-calculated moves that led to Hideyoshi's success. His one country, one castle policy created a balance of power among the daimyo, ensuring his control. He prioritized land balance and social stability, taxing the wealthy and supporting the poor. His Taiko Kenchi policy, a land survey system, improved productivity and stabilized national finances. Hideyoshi established his own centralized government, tightening his control over local daimyo and spreading his influence throughout Japan. His decision to deploy troops to Korea, although controversial, aimed to solidify his authority. Furthermore, Hideyoshi enacted laws that maintained order under a unified government. Through the establishment of castle towns, he promoted commerce and cultural development, with Osaka Castle being a prime example. Toyotomi Hideyoshi's legacy remains a testament to his innovative policies and the unification of Japan.